Alright guys, been a while since I made a video, so I thought I'd go ahead and post one for you. Not too much has changed since the last time I posted a video. I think it's just about all back together. I figured out the vacuum leak. Looking at there was a few things that were different from this engine here, which I believe is a 97, and the truck's a 98. So I believe there were a few things that were different, just little things. But I was looking at the hose that was broken, but it was the one that came with this engine, and or looking at the vacuum lines, and I figured out what was going on. I had a couple of them actually in the wrong spot. I had to switch the two, and it seems to be running all right now. I think that's just about it with the engine. I got all the trim and everything back on. I don't know if I showed you guys, but got all that back on. This here is just oil from that hose I had, or something I had sitting up there. Ended up breaking this top cover, just cracking it down on the other corner, but I'm not too worried about it right now. Just been detailing the inside of it, cleaning it up a bit. I got the floors, obviously you guys can't really see in here. Got the floors all back together. Went ahead and cut some patches, put some brushable seam sealer down, and then put the patches right over it, and used some sheet metal screws and screwed it down. Then went over the top of it again, just to make sure you don't want any gases getting in the cabin. So drove it up and down the road. I'm trying to remember what I've already told you guys. I don't think I told you yet. The brake lines, I ended up having to replace all of them. They all ended up breaking. It was one after the other. I gotta hurry up, my battery's going dead. Yeah, so I ended up replacing all the brake lines. They're all good now. I didn't end up bleeding them yet. They're a little spongy for my liking, but I did drive it up and down the road. It handled pretty good. I want to say the passenger front wheel might have been sticking a little bit just from sitting, because it seemed to want to pull me to that side. And it seemed to have fixed itself for the most part. What else was there? My tube steps came in. I don't know if I told you guys. I ordered some new running boards, tube steps to go on here. It's torn apart right now. I'm doing rockers. Ordered the rockers through a company off eBay. They got here real quick. Pretty good quality. I'm not sure what gauge they are. I didn't end up doing. I just am replacing the bottom. The rockers or the ones that came. What am I trying to say? When I got them, they had metal coming up, so you replace this whole piece. But this is still solid. Like when I cut it out, I made sure underneath was still solid. It looked good. So we're just doing the bottoms. They're a little bit, I don't know how much you guys can see, they're a little bit off on shape. And don't judge me on my welding here. I'm not a welder by any means. This is just tacked in for now, just holding it on. But right here, you can see that the rockers actually got a little bit of a different shape than the old one. Right here, there's just a little tiny piece of the old one left there. But you can see it's a little bit different. I think all I'm going to do is just bang the old one down with a body hammer just to pick it down a little and kind of reshape it a bit. Obviously, you won't even be able to tell when I'm going to put some short strand fiberglass over the whole thing once I get it welded up. Blocking the light here. Yeah, like I said, it's just tacked in. I don't know. I like it so far, I guess. I got spot welds all drilled and tacked just for now still. I'll go ahead and fill them in later. Go ahead and push this up. You guys can see there's a little bit of a gap. And I gotta, it was a little tight down on the back side. So that's gonna come out just a little bit. Then I'll weld it up. And on the front here, it was a little crooked. I gotta squeeze them together and weld them up. Yeah, but it is what it is. It's looking pretty good so far, I think. This was just tacking it on the other day. Sorry about the shaky cam. I ended up taking the back door off, and that was a pain because I figured when I did my Sonata, I took all the doors off. There was a plug right here. But on this there isn't. I had to unplug it, take the door apart and unplug it from the inside. And I actually cut a couple of wires. And I'm going to have to rewire them back up. I couldn't get to the plug, so I just left it. Snipped them, and I'll just rewire them back up. I think they are for, I don't remember what they're for. But yeah, I didn't bother taking the front off. I didn't want to have to deal with that because there's going to be more wires, and I should be able to get it for the most part. With the door wide open, I should be all set. Welding that up. With those wires, with the doors unhooked like that, I have to unhook the battery because for some reason the headlights stay on with those doors open, and I'm not sure why. But whatever. Still have an oil leak, and actually it's leaking pretty good. I just crawled under it. I just put this truck in here maybe 2 hours ago, and it's a good little puddle under there. It only leaks really when it's running, and the pressure, obviously, in the engine is pushing it out. It had slowed down for a little while. There's not a whole lot of room. You guys can't really see anything. Sorry about the shaky cam. It slowed down for a little while, and thought it was going to be good, and it came back. I picked up some of this Lucas engine oil stop leak. I put about a third of it in, and this stuff is thick. It's like honey. The only thing I've heard really good things about Lucas oil products. This is the first one I've used, but I didn't use all of it. There's a ratio you go by. Yeah, I'll probably add a little bit more and let it run. I guess you're supposed to let it run for a little bit with that stuff in there. But since I'm not driving it, I don't know if that's why it didn't do the stop leak or what's going on. But I'm pretty sure it's not the hoses. I know people keep saying it's the hoses. I'm pretty sure it's the piece that the hoses are screwing onto, because when it wasn't leaking before, I don't believe. I guess I can't say for sure. But I don't believe it's the hoses. I'm pretty sure it's the other thing. This thing here, I think I showed you guys this before. This is the one that I'll put on if or when I replace it, I guess. I had to drill out one of the bolts on the one that's on there, and I'm afraid it's just not getting a good enough seal. I went and picked up new O-rings. They matched them up the best they could. Yeah, I've got that to put on there at some point in time. I don't know if I've got a few mechanic friends. I don't know if I'll pay them to do it or what, but so yeah. I know. Let's see what I've been up to. I'm pretty sure this is an aluminum hood. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on it. And it had some corrosion right here. I thought it was rust. I think it went like that. I went ahead. My bondo's a little rough for my liking, but I have one of those rubber squeegees. Should have used that, but I didn't. But anyway, so I went ahead and sanded that down with 80 grit and went right over that 80 grit scratch with this matrix bondo. And I hope it doesn't kick me in the ass for doing it, but I didn't put anything down. And I know some of the bondos you can go right over a scratch like that, but I'm not sure on an aluminum hood. I don't know. Somebody can let me know on that. I don't know how many guys in the garage use the Matrix Bondo. I know Darren uses it. I bought this stuff here from him. Yeah, maybe I'll go online and look at the tech sheets. But the reason I think this is an aluminum hood, other than it being really light when I had it off, is that it's not really rusting. It's got some white powder and it's corroding in places. That was the only one that was on top there. Then I had just a little nick right there, and I sanded that down and just put a little bit of Bondo over it. Not sure what I'm going to do for paint. I want to get a bug shield for this. Sorry it's so close. I had no room behind me to back up. I want to get a bug shield for this, so what I was thinking is if you guys, up here anyway, usually what happens is with those bug shields, they end up rubbing just a little bit, you know, the wind pushing on them, and they'll actually either rust, you know, usually right down along the bottom here where the water just sits, and you know, it's rubbing that paint or whatever off, and they usually rust pretty good. So what I was thinking about doing is putting down some bed liner. You're not going to see it because that's going to be on there, but I'm not sure yet. I'm pretty sure to do this correctly you'd have to paint the whole hood, which I don't really want to do. I could probably do it if it comes down to it, but I'm pretty sure that's not something you could blend, you know, blend a corner of the hood. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll tag Darren in this and he can answer those couple questions about the Bondo over the aluminum. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just paint the whole hood. Again, maybe I'll tag him in this, and I guess maybe I'll email him later and get a paint code and see what it costs. I'm not sure how much paint it would be. Say for the hood and the rockers. I don't know if he watches my videos, so I'll probably have to message him. I know he catches them sometimes, but yeah, so for the hood and the rockers, how much paint would I need? I think I got enough clear coat to do the job. Alright guys, I just see the grill things up here is broken. Oh well. But I guess that's it. It's 15 minutes long. I'm going to go ahead and head inside. I see Darren posted a video a little while ago about the truck. I'll go ahead and watch that. Oh, so guys, if you watched any of my other videos early on,